Hello, welcome to another quick video of Map Business Online. I'm just going to run through a few basic operations within Map Business Online that sometimes people have questions on. These are really easy one or 2 second operations. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to delete a data layer. So if you've imported data using that little button right there, it'll show up down here in the Map and Data tab, which is often located right there. There it is. If you want to delete the data layer, for instance, you can see the gray dots here and the gray dots over here. You hover over it and you'll see that red circle and the white X shows up. Just click it and those data points disappear. You'll see up here there's an object that we've created, a radius search to create these zip codes and build a territory. I can get rid of that radius in the exact same way. That circle can go away just by clicking that red X. Another question people sometimes have is, how do I get my zip codes or states or counties to show me the street level data right through them, to be transparent? And the way you do that is you go to those data layers. There's the zip code layer right there, and you click that Edit Map Properties button. That little gear that comes up lets you edit some of the properties on the map. That brings up this dialog box, and if you put your cursor near any layer, it will bring up the controls of that layer over here in the light blue. You'll see how that all gets connected. In the zip code layer, it is not listed as transparent. I'm going to make that transparent. And now let's look at the map. There it is, it's transparent. But oh look, those territories, that territory is not transparent. So let's go back to this little Edit Map Properties button in the Map and Data tab. We click that, it opens up, and we choose Territory Options, and we make that transparent. You'll notice there's buttons here too to allow territories to intersect. Another popular request that sometimes stumps people is, how do I look at just my particular territory and not at all of the other zip codes? For instance, we can see now all these zip codes and that territory zip code. So let's go over to the zip code layer, and you'll note our territory is there listed, Territory 1. That's this territory up here in red. We can always go in and change that color if we wanted to. We could make it blue. Maybe that'll be a little more evident, not so much. But so there's blue. And if we want to just focus on that area, we click Filter Data on the Map right there, that little box right there. And now we're just focusing on that area. And you'll note that the street layer is a big tapestry that runs all across the world. So it is not something that we can just cut in little pieces like we do with the zip code layer or the county layer. But that's how you do that. Always remember to go back and check that box back off when you're done, so that you don't end up with a mystery as to why other zip codes aren't showing up. Another thing people sometimes ask about is the legend. They want to know how they can edit the legend, and sometimes the legend disappears. Where'd my legend go? So the legend is available back here in that Map and Data tab. You click that gear. There it is. Edit Map Legend down below, and you bring that baby up. So now you've got your legend, and you can go in and edit this legend. It gives you the opportunity to select which data set you want to work on in terms of editing. Let's choose Loretta's accounts, and let's make it something completely different. Elephant Engine, and then we can go to zip codes, and we can change that to read ridiculous statement. Update the map legend. Oops. There we go. Elephant Engine, ridiculous statement. So all of those fields are editable. Another thing people ask about sometimes is how to quickly color code their points on the map. And let's assume that you've got points on the map that might be classified by type. And in this case, I've got several different types of account within my data set. And I've classified them as active, house account, inactive, and prospect. I can change the sizes of those symbols. I can also go in and change the symbols themselves. So There's a variety of symbols that you can choose from within the product. I do that, I make my decision, and then I change the data. It shows up in the legend, and it shows up here on the map. And it shows up, there's labels that show up when you hover over each point, which is kind of cool. And then you can actually go into a given point on the map. So let's pick that one, open it up, and add notes. Take notes on account. And then those notes now are savable, and you can export those out as fields of data that you can use in other applications. Another question we get sometimes is, how do I edit the name of a territory? Let's say I want to assign that territory to a specific person as opposed to just calling it a label like Territory 1. And so we can go in to any of these territories and we can work with that data. Up here you'll notice on the data window there's a double sheet with a check mark, and if I click that, there's a Manage Territory button. And so I can go in to that territory name and change it to Elephant Territory. Change the name, changes it up here, and then it changes it right here as well. That's another function that sometimes people ask about. And sometimes people lose the name of the territory on the territory itself, and they can't figure out how to get that territory name back. But if you click on the actual territory somewhere and then click again, that Elephant Territory name comes right back. So you're able to do that. And you'll notice that sometimes we select a zip code and we want to unselect it. And you can always click into the ocean or click over here, and you will get rid of that selection. Sometimes salespeople want to be able to describe sales using their map application. And so they might want to change their symbolization and utilize a couple of the tools that we've got up here on the toolbar. If you click that pie chart, you'll note that it's pulling from this selected ABC Sales Territory data. And I've got some sales information over there in there for about 3 years worth of sales. And I have the ability to change the colors on the actual pie chart if I want to. So we could make that pink and then click done. And then pie charts will show up, and you can see over here, there's one. And we've got probably a few more in here. If we zoom back out a little bit, yeah, there we go. You can see them around New England. You could also go in and use the same data, the ABC Sales Territories, clicking now the circle, color code by circle button. And so we're now going to look at maybe sales for 2012, and we want to make certain the lower sales areas, maybe re-emphasize how small they are, and maybe change it to an orange, and maybe make the higher sales area seem more important by exaggerating their size and changing their color a little bit. And then we click done. And so now you've got another way to describe sales within Map Business Online through sort of an over-exaggeration. But you'll note that the numbers are there within those color-coded circles, and that was right there on the map. So those are a few of the common questions we get that are kind of one-off questions about how to use Map Business Online. Thank you very much for your time, and go to our website, www.mapbusinessonline, and take our free trial.